Here she is. Hey, team, how we going? It's Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz, and we'll be on in a minute. We're just letting you watch the lady driver for a moment. When it gets down to about the 2-minute mark, what we'll do is we'll roll on from there, unless you decide that you would rather see the face of the channel earlier. You know, quite happy to start whenever you are. It's just not fair for those that are finishing their daily toil, their daily bread. And guess who else is here?
They'll never guess.
Lauren. Sophia Lauren.
I'm back.
But kind of opposite. Dark hair. Dark eyes, Sophia Loren.
Beautiful lady there.
Oh, lovely. Sore back.
Yeah, just your type actually.
She is. Bit gypsy looking.
Yeah, just your type.
Good evening, ladies, says the Backyard Bruiser. Good to have you here. Eats what? Eats salad and tofu. How fantastic.
Yeah, and they're welcome to it.
Carl P. had some great news today for those that didn't know.
Yeah, how exciting.
Yep. Mark Zamp. Okay, hasn't wiped his butt properly, and you can tell by his dirty brown fingers there.
Oh, good grief.
We've got Joshy Fawns. Insubordination, Carl P. There we go. Cane and Peppers. Ooh. We've got the mythical gamer. G'day, mate. How you going? Mr. P, great to have you here. Guess who else we spoke to today?
Who else?
We spoke to Dave Penson there. Lady driver, there she goes. Straight into Kmart.
Uh-oh. How is David?
Dave Penson in Vietnam. They've now been closed down for a long time too. He's run out of his medication. He's got a security guard going to get it for him.
So we can't get it.
He can get it. He's sharing a house with multiple people that are flatulent.
Oh, gosh.
You know, I didn't realise he was saying the cases of the flu over there are up to 13,000 a day.
Wow, that's a lot.
That is a lot. Can you guys hear Lauren okay?
Yeah, let me know if you can hear me.
Hey, Charlie Deathridge, how you going, mate? We've got Dash for Cash. G'day, mate. PK, how you going, mate? Your comments kept getting kiboshed by YouTube before. It was only by the grace of Lauren's itchy right finger, trigger finger, nose picking, butt picking finger, you know, Milo stirring digit, that you were able to get those comments up.
Yep.
Sounds like a foxhole.
Yeah, that's because I'm foxy.
Ah. Hey, Backyard Bruiser. How many people does it take to put a light bulb in Vietnam, mate? Let us know. How many people does it take to screw in a light bulb in Vietnam? You know what? Don't worry about it. You wouldn't know because you weren't there.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah. Guys and gals, we haven't been on for a few days. Look, let's get into it. You know? Bam. There we go, team. It's Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz. I'm here. Okay, I brought something that they're trying to now make illegal in New Zealand. Some of the stores are. They're trying to ban knives. Common sense. Help me find it. Where's Wally? Why? Because someone went on a spree.
Yeah.
Okay, an Islamic terrorist or someone with mental health claiming to be one went on a stabbing spree in New Zealand. So now they want to ban knives. You're going, well, good luck, steak eaters. One of the most dumbest things I've ever heard. G'day, Keith. There you going, mate. There's a hell of a lot going on for all those guys who've got a little bit of an itch to get some action, that are a little bit older. Sad, scary news for your team, because guess what? Bam, straight off the bat, Bette Midler has now gone on a sex strike. She's not going to put out Bette Midler in her 70s. Nose like the keel of a boat of yesteryear.
Yep.
She's saying no way, doesn't want it. And why? Not that she could ever get pregnant. It's been 20-something years since she passed menopause. Yep. But because she can't have a termination. Nation. In line with the new Texas ruling on the heartbeat law to save the unborn. Hey, Keith, there you go, mate. The 2nd Battalion. I thought I saw something there.
2001, he said.
Keith, Nayland.
Nayland.
We must have known each other. I was there in 2001 in the 2nd Battalion, second to none. Okay, the best battalion within the best regiment of the best small army in the world. So we're saying hold on to. Hold on. Let common sense prevail. Put a thumbs up if sometimes you feel like you are the only person that seems to have your feet down flat on the ground. A bit of common sense, understanding right from wrong. Words will never hurt me. Sticks and stones will break my bones. Laura and I have had some really good conversations about this stuff.
We have indeed.
Is that Katsa?
Katsa? Yeah.
I'm not allowed to use his word because YouTube is kiboshing us if we say it. But you know I'm a big fan. Really big fan. But that's because I'm a fan of leadership. I'm a fan of people that get something done. I'm a fan of a reluctant leader. Someone who doesn't ask for the job. Someone who is picked by his peers or picked by opportunity that says, we need a hero. We need it now. And that person says, you know what, if no one's going to do it, I'm a man or I'm a woman of action.
Yeah.
I'm going to step up. I'm going to get the job done, because if I don't, in the absence of someone having the corn to get up and put their word, their mouth, their reputation on the line, nothing gets done. And one of the biggest problems we have in modern society now is our leadership was born from good times, which means they came from the weirdos, from the narcissists that live amongst us, that are like the Bankstown cockroach from Survivor, that are basically there for the money. They're there for the power. They're there for the privilege. Instead of someone that was there in a depression, someone that was there during world conflicts, that is able to step up and say, you know what, I can do the job better. But what's happening? Everything seems to be anti-gravity. We've got the fairer sex. Lauren, I know this is a difficult point, but we've got the fairer sex that are screaming for I'm trying to word this correctly, team, for women's right to be able to have no children, despite the fact that they're not pregnant. That doesn't make sense to me. If you think anyone would be for unwanted births, it'd be men. But they're quiet. We don't need to say anything. The wrong type of ladies have got their own views. But when a man gets someone pregnant, it's, oh, you shouldn't have stuffed up. You should have been more careful. You're going, what? What about this pay gap crap? You're going, I don't know anyone that is getting paid less than someone doing the same job. But it seems like everyone that complains about pay gap are already in a position where they're paid a squillion and they're talking down at those that are below them while they're trying to get a job above them.
Yeah.
What if we had proper equality, Lauren? What if we started putting people on the bitumen teams for the council work, or the bricky labourers started throwing people to get equity in those jobs? I dare say it wouldn't go down well, would it?
No, well, look, we still can't get haircuts mandatory. And I mean, of course it wouldn't go down well, because people talk a good feminism, let's be honest, but when it comes down to actually wanting the same as everyone else, they don't. Their actions betray their words.
Yeah, they do. They do. But the difficult thing is, for people that are as old as Carl P., who went against his age bracket today and went to his PFA. And for all those that don't know, Carl P. has been in the mix for a long time. He never comes up short.
Yeah.
He's as tall as a glass of water.
Yeah.
Long arms, handsome lad.
Yeah.
And today, finally got his dream shot, turned up to the PFA, vowed to his sons that he would come first, but failed. He came second. But that's okay because the second battalion is second to none.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yep.
really great.
He did over 50 push-ups. He did over 10 minutes in the run. Okay, he did 100 sit-ups. He did everything he had to do and more. He led from the front as the oldest guy that was there, I believe. Eats, there you go, mate. Cheers for the great combo the other day. Eats, I love speaking to you, mate. You're real easy to talk to tell you the truth. Sorry that I babbled for so long while you were trying to get off the phone. Not so cow. I just hurt myself with all this power. 343, that's the way to get it done. Yep, those that do all their talking with their feet and the ligaments and their lower back. Matty, not a good time to be having children. No, I think it will be. I think it will be. But this is the sad thing. You know, I spoke to my daughter a couple of days ago, took her to the skate park today for the very first time. You know, I don't want her dating a skater boy, but I tell you now. And I said to her, the only two things that I don't want her to be into as she gets older is handbags or shoes. Because it's like salt in the ocean. There'll never be enough.
But they are great.
Look, you can think you are, but that's a mental health that women have.
Handbags and shoes are just...
Yeah, let's have a handbag that carries no money. What's the purpose of that?
But, you know, the same purpose as Lego.
Don't even put Lego in there. Lego is a goddamn anti-theft tool. You put Lego on the floor and never clean it up. No one breaks into your house with bare feet.
You put a pair of Louis Vuittons on the floor and every lady in the room will be happy.
Do you know why? Because I think there's a gay guy there that might be after me, clacker. Simon Powell, g'day buddy, how you going? I've got no problem with gay people. They just can't get behind me.
Oh, good grief.
Daniel Clark, well done, Carl P. Yep, it was awesome. Yep, it was a great result, and you should have heard the happiness in his voice. The Pajama Llama is here. Joshy Fawns. Guys and gals, let us know what's going on in your life. What doesn't make sense to you at the moment? You know, there's so much going on. The fact that for the first time in the history of the world that I know of, the very mantra that we live by, that you never leave a man behind, yet we've got the new commander-in-chief in the USA, they like to call him, village idiot, you could say in a different language. And not only is he leaving people behind, but he's back on holidays eating ice cream again. Coming to a playground near you.
Come on now.
I really don't and no one's doing anything or saying anything about it. You know, the last few years, what I thought we were watching was a new era where we saw economy picking up, you know, where we saw sovereign patriotism coming back, where the appreciation for a hard day's work and the love of the family value, all of these things that propped up Rome and haven't changed since until almost now, which are being degradation,
Yep.
like it's...
Green cow.
I'll be there in a sec there, Lukey Holland. It's like it's a race to the bottom, like we're trying to completely reverse engineer success, and we're doing a bloody great job of it. We've got, can you please read that out so I can give the...
Luke, been a while since I caught a live in the requirement process, I mean recruitment process.
Yep.
Correct, for fuel specialist within the army. Hoping the C word restrictions end so I can do my medical.
Are they going to end? I don't know. I really don't know, mate. I don't. But let me tell you, it is such a great role. Tom of the Jungle got that role.
Yeah.
The fuel specialist, you know, so many people would think, what? You know, does that mean you're going to like work at BP sort of equivalent? You're going to learn in all sorts of HazChem, aviation fuels, bulk fuels, HazChem, putting out fires. There's going to be so many qualifications that you get working with a diversity of POL, petroleum oils and lubricants. Oh, that one day you're going to have qualifications you basically couldn't pay for. It's going to be fantastic. your hair might fall out and your skin might feel greasy for the rest of your life. I don't know. But, mate, yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you're not a smoker because you won't want to do that in that new role.
No way. Here's Daniel Clark. Says he has got his enlistment day for the 12th of October. And he's got to quarantine for 2 weeks, which sucks, though.
Yeah, I've got you down here, Daniel Clark.
There you go. He was just getting excited then.
Yeah, he's got excited. 12th of October. I had you down as 26th for some reason.
It says 12.
And you're going with Strikey. Strike Force.
There you go.
Yep, and at the moment, guess what?
What?
Guess who's joining the military next Monday and Tuesday at the same time that they're about to start SAS Australia?
Who's that?
I'm glad you asked. That's going to be Michelle Cobra. It's going to be Patrick M. It's going to be Semisea 514. It's going to be Epic Beats.
Yep.
It's going to be Connor Haynes. It's going to be Cameron Peter. You know what we think about two first names? Choose one. We've got Gory Corey. We've got Raf coming up as well. And that's going to Frankie YY. And Tonyahu Carr. And Out of the Rain. Out of the Rain is going to... I forget what he said he's going to. But I remember it was going to be wet. He's going to be wet soon. Guys and gals, make sure you subscribe if you're actually watching in chat at the moment, wondering why you can't talk. As soon as you press the subscribe button, okay, not only does it feel good for Kaz, your name comes up on the screen as well, but you'll actually be able to become part of the chat and part of the channel, which is one of the few channels that allows you to communicate with me one-on-one via the bat phone, which is this white phone right here. Why would you want to be on Patreon? Why would you want to do it? It's not like Facebook. We don't get on there and just send messages back and forth to each other. But what we do is help people all the time that don't even know that YouTube exists, whether they be old people, whether they be young people, whether they be down, out, the great, unwashed or trodden. But in return, what you get is the ability to have one-on-one conversations with Kaz so that you don't have to share your mindset conversation with those that either can't assist you in either life or military, you know, where you feel like you are Custer, running out of bullets on the hill at Little Bighorn, and you just need someone outside your circle of family, outside circle of friends that will support you in your dream. And my job is to blow into your sails and keep you going on some sort of azimuth that has belief in you. Because I'll give you one bit of advice. Tell us what you think about this, Lauren and Carl P. I went to the skate park today. Absolute apprehension watching my daughter there for the first time, hoping also she never meets a skater boy to see the man that he could be. That's because I don't want to pay for dental during the COVID period, or for her to end up with a beatnik. But I saw this little kid who was 3 years old that was on a skateboard. I spoke to his parents, and he'd had other parents come over going, "You're bad parents for putting him at risk of allowing him to get on the skateboard." And I thought to myself, how complex we try to make life, but we don't need to. Now, what would be the ingredients to a fantastic life? Okay, you can ride a bike, okay, BMX bike, skateboard, etc. Right? That you can sing a little bit, that you're not afraid of a dance floor. Okay, that you're involved in some sort of sport and tribal group. Okay, that you have a family that allows you to communicate with them. Right, that you have your own interests, that you can cook. You know, all of these little things that have nothing to do with whatever job you ever do. Yeah, they just become fun skills. Chongo, there he is. They just become things that make you who you are. Can we say that about what's happening with your love life this week?
Well, as long as it all stays anonymous.
Okay. Lauren, did you want to say what's happening?
Well, I've got a date. I may or may not have a gentleman friend.
We know you've got a date. We've all got a bum.
Oh my gosh.
So Lauren's going on a date. She's going to give someone a chance.
Yeah, I'm giving someone a chance. Yeah, why not?
You know what? I can tell you from a man's perspective, there might be trepidation for ladies when you're thinking this guy's going to take me out. But I tell you, you shit yourself as the guy too.
Yeah.
Because you know the woman can talk smack all night, and you'll probably still take it for a second date where she eats seafood at your expense. But a man, we say one thing wrong, one,
Yeah, we can be harsh.
and we're done.
We can be harsh, can't we?
Yep. And you'll tease us for the collared shirt that we wear because we're trying to impress you,
Yeah.
even if it does have a Jaguar on the collar.
You're very cheeky.
Unarmed salad. Skateboarding is an Olympic sport now. Not in my book, it's not. But but I understand that it is. You know who has a real hard day? Is the people that turn up to the Olympics as the fastest person they've ever known to go in the marathon knowing they're going to come last. If anyone should know about depression, it's that person. Going the longest event knowing you have no chance of getting a position. We've got Aussie player here. Okay, he's over in Europe at the moment. He's a paramedic. He saves lives.
Yeah, he's written that in German. Good grief.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds like dirty talk. Everything always sounds like porn talk when it comes from a German.
I'm scared to type it into Google Translate.
Nutsu cow, mate. I don't know what that means.
Just thank you, Aussie player. We think.
Aussie player, can we get some thumbs up for our paramedic from Europe at the moment? Throw on some euros at the channel. Thank you very much for the dinero/shekels.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
Can you please tell us
No.
how many lives have you saved in the last 2 weeks, mate? How many people have you turned up for and your hand's gone, it's okay, step back, let me do my job? As a grown adult or child looked up into your eyes, were parents looking on saying, we're trying to contact them now, where you were the only thing that mattered. It's guys and gals, when you hear that you can't get into the military and think, oh God, that's all I ever wanted to do. Guys, I look at people like Aussie Player and think, man, I feel, when I see a paramedic, I feel like I want to buy them something, like I want to do something for them, like they've got 100% already vouched for. Love them. Guy or girl, equality. Oops.
Yeah. Although I will never look at Aussie player again after translating what he wrote. So do not translate that.
It doesn't have anything to do with my game of quoits, has it?
It's got. I'm not even talking about whether it's got to do with coits. So let's move along.
Okay. Okay. Righto. What else we got? Okay. Here's one for you.
Come on then.
We've got a pretty good group here. Pretty bloody good group. Do you know what I think it's time to bring back?
What is it?
Shame.
Yep.
It's time to bring shame back.
Okay.
People should be ashamed for the deadly sins that they're involved in. Shame is one of the few things, the way you see yourself in the mirror,
Yep.
okay, that allows you to keep your keel in the water deep and keep you on a straight line, and think to yourself, is my dad still on terra firma? What would he think of this? What would my ancestors think of this? I am the sum of experiences of time that have led my family tree to exactly where I am now. Am I keeping up my side of the bargain? Am I a fugazi, the fake diamond? Am I an imposter? Am I the pretender? I think it's time to bring it back, because at the moment it seems like we're giving men and women every excuse that they could possibly need to never say it's their fault, to never look in a mirror and say maybe this falls back on me. And as a matter of fact, now we have organisations that tell you don't shame this, don't shame that, don't shame that. You're going, shame is a good thing. It's good because it hurts, because it feels bad. It sounds bad. It upsets you. Why does it upset you? Is because you know it's true. It forces an action, a reaction. AM, g'day Kaz and team. Where is he? The comments just moved. AM, g'day Kaz and team. Start my JFT course tomorrow.
What's a JFT course?
Joint fighters. What do you call it? It's JFT. It's like you're calling for fire. You're forward observer training, etc.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
Mm.
Right, I see. Understood.
Yeah, I just hate seeing excuses just get given to everyone all the time where people promote people who are doing a bad job. Do you know where we see it the worst?
Where?
We see it in the military when people are failing something and people are going, great job. And what reminded me of it was when Wei from Survivor couldn't even hold her own body up onto a log despite the fact that she took someone's position to go into a game called Survivor. You went in there and you couldn't swim. You went in there, you can't support your own body weight. You went in there, you can't even jog. You go, what is they thinking? You know, you should be ashamed of yourself, not if you can't do that, do something about it. But why would you waste people's time and put your name down when you're that pathetic of a human being when it comes to mobility? You know, would you not have a problem with people looking at you as, you know, basically the same physical ability as a toddler? I don't know.
Yeah, I understand, because that shame, our conscience, the worst thing you can do is sear your conscience so that it doesn't speak to you anymore. That's a wicked thing to do to yourself, because that's what helps you modify your behaviour. That's how you grow and you become a better person, by going, I'm never going to do that again. You should feel bad if you've done something crappy.
Yeah. I'll take a little bit of a blame on this one. Like, Simon Powell's not happy with his weight, etc. But I've still got the Fitbit just here that we bought for him as a channel from the Patreon. It's just sitting. Where is it?
We've got to get it to him.
Wait 2 seconds.
Well, how are we going to get it there? Are you going to post it just so we can have it?
Look, depending on what's going on. Hey, Lee Richardson. Where's your question there, sir? Not so cow. That's 8,000 viewers worth of sesterces right there. Thank you very much. Bam. Bam. This Fitbit, we bought this a year ago. Okay, we tried to catch up with Simon Powell to give this to him, but he was unable to do that because he was taking some nay. Yep. He was trying to make some baby horses in Scone or something. You know, he couldn't make it, and since then it's just been a wash.
Right, he had the Gizmobile out and about.
Yeah, but there is nothing better than Fitbit when it comes to communal fun. We used to have Fitbit challenges, as the New Zealanders would say.
Oh yeah, I remember them.
Yeah. Can everyone look out for Player 100 too, Aussie Player 100, to see how many lives he's actually saved?
It doesn't. It says saves a few, about 6, he reckons.
About 6. It's a bigger deal to them than what it is to you, mate.
Exactly.
Mate, I absolutely take my hat off to you. There you go. There's an Ellen DeGenerate hairstyle right there. You know what? Shame. But we can't get haircuts at the moment.
Come on.
Aussie Player saves a few, about 6. Mate, what can I say? What can I say other than thank you on behalf of their families that may even ask, what was the name of that saviour? It was the Aussie Player. Matty, it's all about getting in there and giving it a go. Absolutely. Absolutely. Sage, I recently deleted all socials. That's not a bad idea, except for YouTube, to get away from this up-and-coming generation. Definitely is peaceful.
Even the young, though, it's not even just the young'uns. Truly, Facebook and things like that, they bring out the worst in people our generation too. Don't worry, it's not just the young people.
And you know what? The people that it brings out the worst in, we have these conversations with some of our friends, they know it. They know it, and they don't mean it to go that way. But what happens is they go in there thinking, oh, what's everyone doing today? And then get dragged into a maelstrom of comments, and then before they know it, the worst version of themselves turns like it.
Exactly.
And then after that, it's like, what did I just do? But those comments are being reacted to, and now I'm stuck in that conversation.
Exactly. And remember, like the words of wisdom that you spoke that time, you cannot put the fart back in the bum.
The fart doesn't go back in the bum. It doesn't.
Exactly.
You know, but
it's out.
I spoke with Lauren before. G'day, Northern Parrot, the Kane Higgins. I spoke with Lauren, and this is a bone that I'll throw out there for the younger generation. Where I feel sorry for you is the fact that you were so inundated with distraction, with confusion, with fake news, with you name it. It's going to be very hard for you to find traction on that roof that slides down, where you don't accidentally get pigeonholed in the wrong group, where you know you don't fit in there, but in the absence of any group, that's the herd you roll with and therefore get judged with. But the advantage of Lauren and I and those that are over the 4-0 mark, I'm over 5-0, which means I've made it more than halfway of the perceived journey that we're meant to go on this time once.
Yep.
And I can tell you one thing. I lived in a different world to you, a completely different world.
Yeah, exactly.
Nicole, stop it.
I knew she was going to do that. She's so naughty.
Sometimes it's that time of the month and that purple menstrual cow comes out, and I'm not talking about the lass. Nicole, King of Queens, is fixated. Maybe it's the year she was born, 79.
Yeah, might be. I don't know.
That's 80,000 sesterces worth of viewers that you just put on there. I am sure, Nicole, lovely Nicole, that you need this more than I do, please.
Yeah.
You know, we would rather you donate your time than your shekels.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, or a whip crack and comment to keep us in line.
Yeah, exactly. She's great in the chat.
What do I do? Not so cow.
Yeah, and good old classic Nutsu cow.
He was kicking a wall and it was coming down all around him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nicole, your money's no good here anymore, love, but I'll take it this time.
Yeah.
And I'll buy some of that pink chicken on the inside at a dedication. Yeah.
Great.
But Carl would be able to explain to you. Can we get some thumbs up there for Nicole? Thank you very much, mate.
Yeah.
But do not encourage you to do it again. You know, you just don't need to do it, team.
Yeah.
So we lived in a different world where life was a lot simpler, where there was no mobile phones, where there was no internet, where every kid went out and played until the sun fell down.
You knew when to come home, right?
Where parents didn't tell their kids they loved them.
And you know what? We didn't have stack hats. We just jump on. I remember one of my brothers just chucking me on the back on their sissy bar of their bike, you know, and off we'd go because it was the street lights had come on, so it was time to go home.
That was it. You know, and you know what? We all seemed to manage to come home. There wasn't more missing children then than what there is now.
Yeah, I mean, bad stuff happened then. That is true. At the same time, you know, as it happens now, and you do have to use some common sense. But we did grow up in different times. We grew up before the internet. We grew up before, you know, we were our parents' remote controls for the television.
Yeah, we were the remote control. Or your grandma still had smoke coming out of her nostrils as she said, come and give your grandma a kiss.
My mum said the maternity wards when I was born, they'd come around and empty your ashtrays.
Yeah, that's right. There was full smoking in hospitals. This is one that's going to surprise you. Give us give us a thumbs down so I can separate it from that. But we hear about investigations into teachers now because they said something to a student. You know, when I was in year 2, I had a teacher named Mr. Hughes. He was from Ireland, and he held me by the arm in front of the class and hit me 3 times. I was in year 2. He held me by the arm, a fully grown man, supporting me, holding me up so I couldn't fall, and slapped me hard in the back and also on the arse 3 times. and then sent me out into the bag room by myself so that my crying couldn't annoy him while he led the class.
Oh.
That was a common thing. Kids would get smacks for not being able to spell.
Yeah, it's not okay.
Mate, I would kill you.
Yeah, exactly.
You would be dead if you're a teacher and you hit my daughter
Exactly.
3 times like that. I'd be at the school and I'd let the police know. But also Mrs. Black. You know, this is how traumatic this was at the time. Teachers smoking in the classroom.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep, smoking in the classroom, looking over your shoulder, pointing out what was wrong.
Yeah.
You know, it was out of control.
Blowing their ash off your schoolwork.
Yep.
Yeah.
You burnt my uniform. We live in a completely different world, team. We really, really do. People used to kill the chickens in the backyard. Every single house had an incinerator, yet houses rarely burnt down.
Yeah, but I remember we had incinerators and that. Yeah, I remember.
The world was so different.
But the other day with the chickens, you and I were talking about, it's just the same as that. That was, you know, we can't even stress to you how much different times we grew up in, is that our grandparents and parents thought they needed to acclimatise us to butchering our own chickens because we may have to do that one day. That's how quickly things have changed.
Simon said he got a metre-long ruler across his arse cheeks.
Oh, did you get the cuts? I never got the cuts. I was a very good girl.
No, he didn't. This all happened to him yesterday.
Yes, and he paid for it.
But it was from a sailor who was wearing his COVID mask. Political correct. I totally agree with this. Katza, political correctness nowadays can't say this, can't do that. And the weird thing is, everyone knows it's full of shit. Everyone knows that everyone knows it's full of shit while they're saying it. You know, one of the things that I find really, really weird is the dating game. Is the fact that to walk over to a girl now, a woman can be considered there's a time and place, of course, you know, but it's considered a creepy thing to do. You're going, for all of history, except for the last 10 years, that was what you did. And the reason you did that was because you didn't just go on cold talk over to someone and go, hey, dude, you want to get in the taxi with me? You know, there was a bit of eye contact that went back and forth. And then it was like, are you sure? Are you sure? And then you went over and you engaged. And then they came and cashed you in for your better looking friend.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it helped me, sometimes it hurt me.
Yeah.
You know, but that was a fantastic way to, there was no such thing as, oh, this is not really working out, because you met each other before you went out.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, I just look at the way the country's going. I will look at the way the USA is going. People say to me, my own family will say to me, Kaz, why do you get so involved in US politics? I'm going, it's not US politics. I'm getting involved in world politics. But it just so happens that Australia follows trends of the USA, which means it's important to be on top of it so that you can see the moves happening before they actually land on your front doorstep and become a problem that one day you have to sort out.
Yep.
What is there? What else? Freedom of speech. In Australia, no one can even tell you, do we have it? No, we don't. We don't have freedom of speech in Australia. People think we do. You go, no, you don't, mate. You can be held accountable at any time for what you do or what you say. All you got to do is go off on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and you can end up with someone around your house real quick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Hey, we said we summoned the Navy, and here they are. Mr. Vids, USS Wasp. G'day, buddy. You weren't the one hitting Simon Powell or Raffy with a ruler, were you, mate? Imagine if you said to the richest people in the world, to the smartest people in the world, to the think tanks, what could you possibly do right now to be able to get the people out of Afghanistan?
Yeah.
But there's things that just don't make sense. We're not getting the full truth. How are these people stranded as American citizens in Afghanistan? They're talking about pregnant women. They're talking about school children. You're going, it stinks. It doesn't sound normal. What are kids doing in a terrorist run, pseudo unrecognised regime. Wouldn't you get the pregnant woman out of there a lot earlier? What about the 100,000 people that have left Afghanistan for what they thought was refugees to USA, now to only find the majority of them need an interpreter, which means they never worked for the USA while they were in with coalition forces within Afghanistan. All of this seems like pay to play.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
We don't have the voice we think we do. The voice that we have, the social media, is designed as a distraction, just like the Colosseum was in Rome, to keep you looking over here instead of looking at what was happening politically within your own empire. It's not for what you say that's good. It's to keep an eye on the people that are speaking out in the village square. Sydney, what a beautiful name. Is this a guy or a girl? Sydney Shaw. Is that a nickname or your real name? Because that's a lovely name. That sounds famous.
Excuse me, they might be non-binary. You just presumed their gender.
That's okay. I only believe in two genders. 100%. Kaz, our freedom of speech laws are shocking. The parliamentary privilege that our pollies get are the same rights normal citizens get in the US and UK. It's a really weird one, because we live in a land which is the best country in the world, I believe. But that's because of its common people. It's never been because of its leadership. And we don't even know the rules of our own country. Yeah. It's because they know that we are, the majority of us, despite the fact that there is many that look at Ned Kelly as a hero. I don't. But we're law-abiding. We're into mateship. We're into a fair go. We're into, hey, dude, pick on someone your own size, as we deepen our voice.
We're batless.
Sydney Shaw's a bloke.
He's a bloke, yeah. I'm glad he appreciates saying what a lovely name he has, though.
Hey, Sydney, if you want to know the difference between USA and Australia, I'll tell you something that's funny, mate. Carl will like this one. What year was it? We went over and I was doing a naval exercise out of Pearl Harbor with the US. I think it was the Marines, or it might have been the guys from Schofield Barracks, which is Army. That wouldn't make sense. It must have been the Marines. I've been there a shitload of times. And we were out on this Navy ship. Absolute confused me. They dropped the front of the ship, which to me, pardon the language, is a fucking hole. That is a man-made hole in the boat if you open it up and allow the water to rush in. That's a hole. But what they did, there's no fraternisation, but you got hot chicks everywhere who are down to basically undies and a T-shirt that are swimming in this water that's up to 12 feet deep, while you got guys with bolt-action rifles there to shoot sharks that try to come in and mung on the Caucasian. And you have to go and swim. You have to. You don't have a choice. It's to stop your skin from going parasitic and all that sort of crap. And you do shifts. But anyway, what happened was they've got a bit of a no alcohol policy on the ships and all that sort of crap. And we're on this Navy ship. There's a company of Australian infantry on there. I think it was Alpha Company. I think it was Delta Company, I think. And someone goes up to the bridge and basically says, can you put this cassette, or it might have even been a CD, on so it goes over the intercom of the whole ship? And they're, no, we don't play music over that, mate. And whoever this wordsmith was managed to get him in. And out of all the songs that came on, it was Bloke. So all these Americans are there, and Aussies there. I'm a bloke, I'm a yobbo, and my best mate's name is Robbo. There was a lot of like Navy-looking cuck old, beta male sort of dudes. Like, oh, that's disgusting, But I tell you what, the female sailors, whew, they were going to steal us like we were jumbucks, and they were going to put us in their tucker bag. They looked at Australians in a brand new way. And then when the sports days happened and we took out all the events, you can bet your bottom dollar that we had to be told you don't want to be picking up any chicks in Hawaii if you're on Schofield Barracks, or if you're on Kaneohe Bay, which is the Marines barracks, because every chick at this club is either married or with a Marine, etc. And infidelity, gets her punished too by the military legal system. So that was an absolute torture. And I had this flat-chested, bat-faced woman that actually loved Kaz. But I had a partner at the time and I wasn't going to stuff up.
Yeah.
But I did have an itch. I think it was a chick.
Not every itch needs to be scratched.
Nope. The guy from Home and Away who died is called Robbo. The guy from Home and Away. I know that the black gentleman from The Wire was found dead today with his a shitload of illicit substances around him. Okay. He passed away today. Yep. God bless his soul. Just because you're into the illicit substances doesn't necessarily mean you're a bad person.
I know you're caught up in a net. Yeah, it's
Can you have a drug problem if you're a billionaire?
What was you bored?
What, can you have a drug problem? If you can afford all of the drugs, whenever you want, and they get delivered to you by police, how can it possibly be a problem unless you accidentally have too much yourself?
It only becomes a problem with the risks, yeah. Hey, Ash Carnell says, hey Kaz, new subscriber here. A 33-year-old Melbourne lad, and loving your content, feeling it's time to follow my calling with you hyping me up every day in preparation.
Ash!
Yep.
What's today? Ash Tuesday. Mate, that's what we do here. What we hear is and I understand, Ash, in today's society, we hear so many people, the reoccurring message is, why would you want to go and join the police force? Why would you want to be in the military? Why would you want to go to Air Force? Why would you want to go to Navy? I want you to live your life, mate. I want you to live your life the way you want to live it, the way you choose to pay for the food that goes on your youngin's table.
Yeah.
You're not always going to have the ability to do options as children come along, responsibilities. You're 33, you've been around the block. If you're saying that now, then this is unfinished business and you need to do it until they say you can't do it, or until you get in, wear the uniform, Australian flag over your left shoulder, your family name on your chest. No rank is the best rank, because then it's all about arms, girls, drinks, and Mexican food and fitness. That's all.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Indeed, there's a green cow from Lee Richardson.
There is a green cow. That's 8,000 viewers worth of sesterces right there. Not too cow and sore knuckles for Kaz.
Yeah, it says, mate, I'm heading back to the army after being out for 14 years. Do I tell the instructors I'm a retread? I have my gongs to wear on the march out.
Well, you do have to tell them you're a retread. Benny James, subscribe too. Can we get some thumbs up for Benny James? Great to have you here, mate.
Yeah, welcome, Benny.
You should be proud of being a retread, mate. Do you know why? Because when you go in there and you're a recruit again, then that's going to tell people there's something about this job that is so good that this guy has come back. You can help them in a leadership role. The army has changed a lot since you got out, but at the same time is exactly the same in so many other ways. And Kapuka is almost identical, except for the fact there's no standards, fitness-wise. Use your former career as a way to not be a know-it-all, but to be a way to be able to put your hand on the shoulder of another human being and be able to say, relax, son. It's okay. It ain't personal. This is all about you, okay, being able to take instruction and be able to do it in a timely manner as a herd-orientated critter, that doesn't take shit personally. All we're doing is revamping who you are. Just go with the program. Treat it like a game show and have a laugh. And when in doubt, come and see me on Sunday, because you've got to be religious on Sunday, because that means you get to sit on your phone. All denominations. Drinking coffee, eating biscuits, chilling out while the others are cleaning the lines. Benny and the Jets. When is too old? When is too old? Too old. I'll tell you when it's too old. When you're too old. That is when you have no use, or the military has no use for you. You know, you need to be mature enough to understand that infantry is not for you. You know, once you get to a certain age, that you need to go in and go, you were the one that chose to go too late, so you need to take the repercussions for that. Okay, you need to go in and go, where would the army most need me? And that is the role that I'm willing to do if that means I get to wear the green and the gold, the Australian flag that I'll never kneel for, the family name, to put on the boots, okay, to reforge and live my second life, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
You know, but as an individual, I can't say someone is too old unless I've met them. Because there's people that are 30 I'd look at and go, you're too old. Nah, not taking you. There's people that are 22 that I could look at and go, you're physically useless. You're supposed to turn up ready to go. You know, you didn't do it. What I don't understand is we will get people and we will tell them you do not qualify to come to the military because you don't have year 10 pass in English and maths, but then we do something so goddamn eat a dick idiotic, and then still, after you've met the educational standards, give you an aptitude test, despite the fact that you met the standards for what they asked for before, and if you don't, we'll say, okay, you're not prepared enough. But then when someone turns up and can't even do a chin-up, a push-up, a sit-up or a run, they make another scheme or they drop the standard to allow that person to have the best chance of going to Kapooka, which won't make them successfully pass a BFA before it sends them to the bad land of the School of Infantry, the School of Armour, the School of Signals, the School of Transport, the School of Engineers. That doesn't make sense. We're keeping the standards high for one thing, but absolutely allow them to deteriorate. And at the end of the day, no matter how smart or dumb you are, you've still got to make it to point B. And the difference being, you may not be eloquently good at keeping a conversation going, so he might go, just get Rob to go and stand over there out of the way, but at least he made it to the fight. But when we take on someone, we lower a standard, that means all of our brightest, all of our smartest, all of our dangerous people are tapping their foot, turning up late because they're travelling at the speed of the person who doesn't want hurt feelings, who's not fit enough to wear the uniform with the Australian flag and the name of their family on their chest while they wear their medals on the left. You know, I do not understand it. You don't have to have a fitness test to get in the army. Get rid of it. But there must be, by the law of CAS, okay, a BFA passed at job standard before you leave Kapooka. That's not too much to ask. And if it's not, then are they doing their job? No. Not the instructor's fault. They're getting told this is what the deal is. Okay, Ayers Rock, considering Army intelligence or Air Force aviation for those reasons. Ayers Rock, yep. Okay, sounds good, man. And Army and Air Force have fantastic opportunities for posting, and the best posting that you can get, I believe, if you're in the Air Force, is to go to Williamstown, which is near Stockton Beach. You won't regret it. J Magnifico. Fact check. Thanks for educating me on what a Skippy really is. Lighty, I'll show you something too. Check out this one, team. How's that for a Skippy badge on a Skippy? Beautiful. Oh, that's great. ZL, Kaz, I've got a quick question. What does the infantry soldier even do during the day in peace times? It doesn't matter if it's peace or whether it's conflict, mate. We prepare for the role of the infantry, and that is to seek out and close with the enemy, to kill or capture him, to seize and hold ground, to repel attack by day or night, regardless of season, weather or terrain. And what we do is we continue to repeat that process, okay, at individual level, at section level of 2 fire teams, 8 men with a commander, And then we do it at platoon level, 3 sections. Okay, 3 commanders with a platoon commander, platoon sergeant as your father. And then we do that as a company. Then we do it as a battalion. Then we do it as a brigade. And then sometimes we do it on exchange in with other countries as coalition, multi-force operations. So we just prepare for the big day all the time. So it becomes instinctive. What do we got? Cheers, Kaz, Sage, Ayers Rock, the Flying Doc. Is he a flying doctor?
I don't know. Is he? If he is, he should tell us.
Yeah, he should. Ironing and making the beds. Any pro tips? Nah, there is no pro tips, man. Because what it comes down to, I can't tell you everything. You know, some of this has to be the section commander's way of bonding with you to show you the right ways to do it. And they're the things that, you know what you can do? I'll tell you what you can do. Anything I didn't like to do, I understand almost everything in life is transactional. I used to pay people to iron my uniforms because there's always someone that wanted a little bit extra cash. If I don't want to do it, I will outsource it because I'm a survivor.
Yeah, exactly. I used to do a lot of folk ironing. I love ironing, though.
That doesn't make sense, but I do love the smell of crisp.
Yeah, exactly. See that starch.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark, I've heard you can request a change after 6 months. What's that for? Hey, Kaz, any tips for the assessment day? Jacob, I like your name, mate. It sounds very biblical. For assessment, the first thing I'd say to you is listen to my U session, assessment day, and PFA. Listen to all 3 of those videos and listen to them twice. Write down notes. If you find that you are really stuck, get onto Patreon. Meet me on the white phone here. Okay, that sounds racist, but the screen is black, so we've got a little bit of balance there. You know, and then from there we'll get you through. One thing I will not give is advice on how to pass a psychological screening, because you may be a psycho. You know, and we need that to come out in the wash if that's the case, if you're the worst version of yourself for yourself. Okay?
Yep.
Yeah. What do you reckon, Lauren? What's happening with the world? What's really chapping your ass about the world? It's something that's an obvious fugazi subject or disorder or situation that gets way too much attention without getting readjusted.
And I've got to say it while staying in the flags, right?
Yes, while staying inside the flags. Otherwise, you'll go into that pool that no one knows how you get into.
Yeah, I think it's all these Orwellian algorithms and Orwellian thought police. Like, people are being separated into such polarized groups that there's hardly any way that one extreme side can talk to the other extreme side anymore. Because it's like, okay, I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but that doesn't mean I think they should all be hunted down and taken care of. You know, absolutely not. So I think it's I think that they're coming down a little bit too harsh in places they shouldn't. And also, I don't think like getting freedoms back like we did.
No. There is no reason for military to be working alongside police because they're not actually doing a standalone or even an assisting role. Whenever you see them, they're having a cup of coffee, they're walking around with them, but there's still 2 police with them. He's going, well, that doesn't make sense. It's just to get us used to seeing uniforms in the street. It's what it feels like to me. And that's what I believe it's about.
Yeah, and it's getting a bit harsh, right? Like, there's a lot of people getting fatigued from this lockdown. And there's a lot of people whose businesses are going to be suffering. There's a lot of people who will have lost employment. And I'm just not sure our systems can handle what's, you know, getting back on our feet would mean.
The bit that scares me, and I had a really big argument with one of my really good friends today about this, and that was when I said the government keeps talking about, and let's remember that if you're in a government job, there has never been a better time to be in the army, I tell you, team. No matter how much strife happens, you won't even feel it when you're in the military. You turn up, your job don't change. And if they go, oh, shut down, no worries. Xbox, Battlefield 5, 2042 is about to come out.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'll just get some too.
Don't talk dirty to me.
Sorry.
Okay. But what was I going to say? What were we talking about?
We were talking about what's chapping your butt about.
Ah, yeah. So we're hearing government people talking about the economy will bounce back. You're going, hey, wait a second, cowboy. You've got people with multi-generations of wealth that have been wiped off the table, completely wiped off. Remember, every single buck that enters our system now is not backed by gold, is not backed by anything at all.
Anything. Yeah.
So this fiat dollar monetary system is going to go real soon. You can feel it.
Yep.
And when that happens, and this is all over, there's going to be people that either held on to their business too long, held on to their employees too long. They're not going to get reimbursed. They're not going to get this money back. They've probably lost their house already, the mortgage, to try and keep their business there, not realising this was going to go this long. And it's gone forever. They can't remake this money back. So there's people that have done actual falling through class systems, that have not been protected by the system, and no one knows when they're going to come out the other end. And we don't get the hindsight that the politicians do of what to put their money into that they know is going to be flourishing on the ASX.
I feel about it. I feel like with our politicians that it should be total transparency. I want to know what they have shares in, what their partners have shares in, what their cousins have shares in, what their kids have shares in, what their brothers and sisters have shares in, and when they were purchased.
They're the same mofos that said they wanted it from the T-Man from the USA.
Yeah.
Commander-in-Chief 46. They're being real quiet about it themselves, aren't they? And we've got, there he is, John Wick, okay, has called it. I wanted to say that, but I don't want the algorithm to hear it.
I don't think you should. And also, Matt Leadbeater is on it as well with his mentioning Venezuela.
That's it, lads. It's
you understand what's going on here.
people go, why would you have these conversations? And you go, it's so important to have these conversations because they are going to influence you. This is the water slowly boiling while you sit within it.
Yeah, exactly, like the frog,
Or like this page here with this mist that I've added to this for effect for you.
Just made it look eerie now. It looks good. But that's exactly right. And it can make you less scared because remember, knowledge is power. So the more you talk to people, the more you open your eyes and actually see what's coming your way, the less frightened you'll be when it lands on top of you.
Ez Rock is right on here too. We're talking about never last longer than 50 years. We're talking about the monetary system, which was overdue to fall before now.
Yeah.
And the other thing too, I can see from a politician's point of view where they're saying, because one of the conversations I had today that ended up with a big argument, they're going, oh, this is costing the country so much. You go, no. None of this has cost the country a cent.
No, exactly.
This is not backed by anything. This is all money, all repayments will be paid by you, not by the government. You're going to pay it.
Try not to get into any more personal debt if you can avoid it right now.
There's something coming. For those that want a little bit more gun. Can I tell you something else? Put a thumb up. This is an interesting question, Lauren.
Okay.
If you're in the chat right now while you're thinking about pressing the like button, okay, put a thumb up in there if you have become just way too serious. Has this starting to beat you? Are you starting to see the fun-loving, sing out loud, Jenny's got a gun.
Yep.
You can't do that in supermarkets anymore.
You can't do that.
If you've got too serious, put a thumbs up and let's do something about it and bring out the inner child.
Yeah, exactly. Kev and I are always playing like kids. There's Mr. Buccarini.
Mr. Buccaroony from the north. Look at that, Mr. Buccaroony. Boom, right here. Right here. You know what? I think it's only fair. I want to dedicate one of these today. And this one, I hope you don't mind, but, you know, we've had a few conversations with, and I would really like to donate this one to, well, most of yous, okay, but I really do want to give this one to Nicole King.
Yeah, I think you should.
Nicole King, I've already got 2 balls.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you one of mine.
All right. Well, she's gone to bed, so she didn't hear that great.
Okay, she won't know, but we're going to get her address. We're going to send this to Nicole King.
Yeah, don't tell her anybody.
And there's one coming to Patreon, and there's one coming to the members as well, righto? And they'll be signed and they'll be getting sent to you. It's just about getting to the closed down bloody post offices to be able to get them to you.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Mr. Buckroni has caught a fish yet.
I don't know, because you know much about the CCT, the OCTs in the north, 4 squadron. No, I don't, mate.
Yeah.
Nah, sorry, buddy. I'm out of debt now and can't afford a week's worth of... What? I'm out of debt now and can afford a week's worth of food and have been accepted for another job. What's your other job, Lloydie? What's your other job, little man? Go, Nicole. Look at the people here. We've got Ayers Rock. Sometimes, yep, too serious. Joshy Fawns, congratulate Nicole. Well done. Sage, you put the ball in the field yet, Kaz? We're going to look at doing that tomorrow there, Sage. We're going to put out one of the balls signed with a message on it in the centre of the field. The reason why I haven't done it yet is because Rebel Sport is even closed. The one shop essential for well-being for those to get outside and exercise in these down times is closed. So I want to go there and get a dick pump, ball pump.
Good grief.
Sorry.
Great.
And we're going to put that in the middle of the park and see who takes it up. There was a Romanian family we gave one of the balls to, and he looked at me like, why would I want this? You know, you do something for people and they don't appreciate it from the jump.
Yeah.
What's going on there? Sydney Shore, Jesus Christ, 666,000 a year. Isn't the Prime Minister only on 350,000 salary? Not counting other wages or funding. Look, this is what you don't understand about your politicians, Sydney. For starters, who's on the devil's number worth of currency? Who's on the 666? Politicians, there's a reason why they're in there. It's got nothing to do with the wage they're on. You know, what it's all about is the inside information they have into companies, into real estate, okay, into ASX decisions that are about to be made that they can influence and then project their wages into phenomenal returns. It's almost a legal ability to day trade where you can't go wrong. And the longer they stay in power, you know, their portfolios just get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Exactly, and really we need transparency. If they want us to trust them, we need transparency, and we mean full transparency. Because we aren't that dumb that we don't know that your partner or your kids or your cousins or your neighbour might have it instead of you.
Look, that's it. It's Benny James. Benny James, absolutely. It's amazing that little boy got found yesterday. A little bit sus, though. There is something really sus about that.
I agree, and I can't quite put my finger on it, so I'm watching that unfold and wondering what's going to come out about that in the next few days. I
watch more true crime than the average cop, you know, and I tell you, you get a little bit of a sense for it, you know.
Yeah, it's true. You watch enough, you become a bit of an armchair detective.
Yeah, you know, but as you get older, you get that gut feeling where you look straight between people's excuses like, not so.
Yeah.
Got my assessment of medical for infantry in the coming weeks. Can't wait to hopefully get in after a few years of being on the fence. It's a tough one, mate, but once you get in there, everything is going to be A-OK. You're going to be stoked. Everything that sucks, you asked for it. New friendships, food, experiences.
Exactly. This is what we're saying, is things might be different, but it doesn't have to stop you you from enjoying your life, okay? You know, that's why, like Kaz was saying before, try and stay playful, try and stay fun, you know, try and use your great ingenuity. If you're an Aussie or a Kiwi, you've got it built into you. You know, find new ways to do things.
Yeah, you got to do that. You have to, because if you don't, got to tell your team, before you know it, you'll be too old to be able to enjoy it. And that's why I put this here, this hold on, don't change, stick to your course so that your friends are true and real. It can get really hard these days to put up with the village idiots that surround us, that scream into your ear that for some reason, despite the fact you're a law-abiding citizen, the fact that you pay tax, the fact that you put others before you, that in some way you're selfish, racist, and wrong. It just does not make sense to me. I love the, although I don't like sometimes the condescending way that, what's her name, Candace Owen speaks, I do like the fact that she's a voice within that vacuum. Tony Kirk didn't go to university, but is smart as a tack. You know, there's all of these different people that try to be that voice. You know, you don't have to like all of them. But when you listen to a little bit from each one, there's a common sense to it that cannot be discounted.
Yeah, exactly. Don't just take on someone's entire philosophy and opinion like a guru. You know, what you want to do is you want to make up your own mind on things. You want to form your own opinions, and that means you may not find someone who you agree with 100%, but you may learn something from them.
And learning something is something I love to do in every conversation. Taz, one of my best mates from the New Zealand, the Kiwi Brew, you know, he said to me today, he's going, the reason why he calls me is because there is a desert of other people who critically think around him. So he comes to speak to me because not only do I support a lot of the views he says, but he feels like he learns something every day, and it's not because I'm intelligent. It's because I look under all of the different rocks, but also because I think in a different manner to most people, and I'm completely selfless in delivering that information. And sometimes even at my own welfare, I will tell you the truth. And that's why he comes there, for the no filter, tell me the way it is. Do I look fat in these jeans? You know. Yeah. But anyway.
That's why we come here, because you give us the good oil without any bells and whistles.
Yeah, Mr. Buckaroony, right on, man. If Rafa, that's his dog, guys, goes missing for 5 minutes, he panics. So do I. And that is why when a toddler goes missing, I'm going, toddlers can't go missing.
3 days.
Can't go missing.
There's something strange.
You're not going to get far enough away. If you see a 3-year-old kid even walking on a football field and you look around and can't see the parents, you're going over there to grab that kid. And I don't mean to flick it into a white van. I'm saying you're going to go over there and go, you aren't going anywhere, son. You know, I want to see a parent. And then you'll be almost at fisticuffs going, you watch your goddamn kid.
He is Sage. That's what he's doing right now.
What's that?
He said, Kaz, you should speak out in front of the public.
Look, this is the thing. Oh, Sage, once you actually YouTube and you have this voice here, Mr. Buckaroony knows this. Lauren's going to jump onto a stream after this, I believe.
Yeah.
And the thing is, sometimes it can be demoralising to look at big YouTubers that are speaking absolute smack no matter what they talk about, you know, with all of their dumb shit little antics that people follow on like sycophants. You know, and it really pisses me off, you know, because when we have a good message, whether it's about mental health, whether it's about awareness of, whether it's to help you out, they will block the shit out of it so no one can find it. But at the end of the day, when we look on this stream 24 hours later and it has 800 views, Could you imagine how hard it would be to set up an auditorium for 800 people to turn up, listen to you speak if they would?
Yeah, if they would, exactly. Because things are a bit frightening at the moment too, and it's much easier for people just to distract themselves with all these easy distractions we have.
Absolutely. And I've got to tell you, I haven't met too many people that have had a life as good as mine, as lived as mine. You know, I am, what would I say? I am one of the luckiest human beings that I've ever seen in my life. You know, I've been all over the world. I've been around mucho celebrities. I've been in situations a billionaire can't buy. I've been part of historical events. I've got friendships that I know, people that I would literally die for their family.
Yeah.
You know, but that's never said. You don't say those things.
No, you don't.
You know, I've got a fantastic family where my mum and dad are still alive.
Yeah.
Just as I broke down from what was wrong with my multiple injuries, I'm in a position where I live 2 kilometres from my daughter and see her every single day, and I'm complaining about homeschooling, which means I'm having time with my daughter. I should shut the fuck up and realise how lucky that I actually am.
Exactly. In fact, a lot of folk I meet who have post-trauma issues actually can be very, very grateful for their lives and are really the opposite to, victim mentality, that it can lead us to great depths of gratitude.
Well, you wouldn't have PTSD if you're a narcissist.
No,
because you'd be thinking, what's affecting them so much? It's when you have a big heart, a full heart, that you get broken by the accumulative, accumulative emotional moments that you keep trapped inside. And then eventually it spills over in unacceptable behaviour, that you don't get along or you don't get away with as you push your friends away. But you guys, it's a big life. You only get one. You're going to love it. I'm telling you now, there is some cool shit that is coming for you guys. And I reckon the army is one of the best jobs you could possibly have.
Yeah, for sure.
Good
night, Nikki.
We're going to get going too. I just wanted to say thank you to you all tonight for being here. Thank you, Miss Lauren. And I hope everyone understands that I'm in New South Wales and we're going into our 11th week straight of having kids at home.
That's a long time.
And it's not like the movies. It's not like TikTok. The teachers aren't doing an amazing job. They're not doing Zoom sessions every day despite the fact they've only got one classroom. It might look that way on TikTok, but that ain't happening. We're paying for a tutor every single week on top of the schooling, on top of what we do, just to try and give our kid a chance at not falling too far behind, because like Dad, she's not an academic. But happy Father's Day, happy families, and remember, in the scale of things, you are F-loads richer than so many people in this world, and you may not even realise it. And would you swap your life with someone in Afghanistan at the moment? Think about that before you go to sleep tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Lauren. Well, I'm going to get out of here. We've got Daniel Clark here. Always good to have you here, sir. Be careful of the thumbs up team. Otherwise, Ivan Milat's ghost might come back. It might put you and store you with Hillary Clinton's emails and sift through your jocks. So with that out the way, don't change. If it smells like shit, it's probably shit. And you don't have to surround yourself with people that drag you down. That's Kaz from In the Trenches with Lauren beside me, making me the triangle sandwiches I love so much.
Yeah, because they're my speciality.
And that's all a man needs, peace and sandwiches. That's it. And a dog to wipe his greasy hands on. So, Michael Stott Medic, let's get out of here, team. I love yous. Keely Boyd, good to have you here.
It is.
my mate Keely.
Yep.
And we are lucky. We really are, team. Don't let the media try to tell you you're not. And if you're doing it hard at the moment,
Best time in history to be alive.
best time. Best time. Battlefield 5, 2042. Coming to an Xbox near you soon. All right. Once this is all over, I'll be hand delivering an Xbox X, top of the range, to someone that I take in my blue, non-kid attracting ice cream van. See you later. Keep it real. And if I call you Betty, will you call me Al? Bum, bum, bum.